Aha, buddy. You will not believe what's happening. Everyone's laughing at this arrogant person. Wait, what? Yeah, he thinks he's untouchable. Nah, he doesn't even see what's coming. Oh, it's brutal, it's dark, it's intense. And trust me, you need to watch this till the very end. Every second counts. You feel it, right? The tension, the chaos waiting to explode. Oh yeah, this is not a story about luck. It's about consequences, strategy, and what happens when arrogance meets reality. And I promise you, by the time you see this, you won't look at anyone the same way, ever. Stay close. Watch carefully. React. Your energy fuels this chaos. Your support makes these words alive. Oh, you deserve the shout-out of a lifetime for sticking around. Laughter. It's the cruelest weapon. He doesn't notice. Can't notice. He's drunk on his own certainty. Nah, he's convinced the world is a stage made solely for his performance. Oh wow. The irony is delicious, because laughter isn't just sound, it's a mirror. A mirror reflecting every flaw he refuses to see, every arrogance, every misstep, every blind assumption that he's somehow immune to consequence. And here's the brutal truth. The more he laughs at life, the louder life laughs back. Yeah, the universe is patient, quiet, observing, waiting for the exact moment arrogance slips, when the false armor cracks, and then chaos. Oh, chaos isn't just a word. It's a storm that starts in whispers, a storm that turns every smirk into a lesson, every sneer into a mark on the map of his eventual reckoning. Look closer. Every chuckle from the crowd is a spark, every whisper a tiny weight on his shoulders. Nah, he doesn't feel it yet, but the accumulation is inevitable. The arrogant think themselves untouchable, and that's precisely what makes them most vulnerable. Every dismissive gesture, every scoff at advice, every "I'm better than this" moment builds the pressure. And when it breaks, oh, when it breaks, it will be spectacular. The crowd, the laughter, the mocking eyes, they aren't enemies. They are messengers. Teachers wearing masks of ridicule. And he refuses the lesson. He thinks arrogance is strength. He thinks pride is protection. But the truth, oh yeah, the truth is sharper than any blade. The first drop has fallen. The storm is forming. Reality doesn't knock. It crashes in. Oh, and now it hits him. That first undeniable crack in his illusion, the kind of moment you can't ignore, can't laugh off, can't charm away. Yeah. The arrogance that once felt like armor now weighs him down, a cloak stitched from delusion. The laughter isn't fading. Nah, it's transforming, turning into something sharper, something heavier, something that presses against his chest like a storm he never saw coming. He thought life would bend to him. He thought the rules were optional. He thought the world's patience was infinite. But here's the truth, it isn't. Never was. Every arrogant step, every reckless word, every glance over his shoulder, ignored warnings he couldn't see, has led to this collision. The invisible walls of consequence are closing in, and oh wow, the pressure is real. He tries to laugh it off. Oh, the attempt is pitiful. The smile doesn't reach his eyes. His mind races, but clarity is a blade slicing through distraction. Each misstep, each sneer he once threw at life, echoes back now with precision. It's not public humiliation that wounds him the most. It's the internal awakening, the recognition that he's exposed, unprepared, fragile. Yeah, fragile. And the world, it doesn't need to shout. The subtle shifts are enough. Doors closing silently. Trust evaporating in a glance. Allies turning into spectators. Nah, he's learning the hard way. Arrogance doesn't survive scrutiny. It fractures under pressure. It falters when reality shows its face without warning, without mercy, without explanation. And the moment is exquisite in its clarity. Brutal, undeniable clarity. Oh, the arrogance that once gave him comfort now mocks him silently. Every whispered, "I told you so," he ignored is a reminder. Power isn't in being untouchable. Power is in understanding the weight of actions, in patience, in preparation, in seeing beyond the self. And he, blind and overconfident, faces the reckoning that waits for every fool who trusts pride over wisdom. Pain doesn't whisper, it shouts. Oh, there it is. The first hit he never saw coming. Not from a fist, not from a shout, not from the crowd. No, it comes quiet, precise, invisible. The strike that dismantles arrogance in seconds. Yeah, it's the subtle collapse of what he thought unbreakable. Every misstep he ignored, every warning he laughed at, every bridge he burned, now they return, not as chaos, but as consequence. And oh wow, the clarity is blinding. The walls of his delusion crumble silently. Nah. There's no dramatic explosion, no cinematic fall. Just the quiet weight of reality pressing down, relentless, unavoidable. He feels it in the chest, the mind, the marrow of his being. The arrogance that once made him untouchable now feels like chains. Every trust betrayed, every opportunity missed, every laugh at wisdom comes back, sharpened, precise, designed to wound. He wants to run. Oh, the urge is primal. Escape, denial, defiance. But there's nowhere to hide. The strike doesn't need him to surrender. It only waits for recognition. And recognition, it's brutal. Every lie he told himself, every self-made crown he wore, every "I am beyond this" moment, evaporates under the silent weight of inevitability. Yeah, inevitability. That's the predator he ignored. And the irony? Oh wow, it's exquisite. Those who watched, laughed, and whispered, they're silent now. They don't need to gloat. The strike itself speaks. The consequences, sharp as a blade, reveal what arrogance never could, weakness disguised as strength. Nah, he realizes too late that power isn't in noise, it isn't in posturing. True power waits, silent, observing, waiting for arrogance to crack. Oh, but here's the secret that terrifies the unprepared. Pain, when understood, becomes a teacher. And every strike, every subtle collapse is a blueprint, a lesson carved in reality itself. He didn't know it before, he mocks it before, but now every misstep, every laugh at warning, every moment of arrogance has shown him the design of life itself. Some fall apart, others rise anew. Oh, the silence is deafening. After the strike, after the collapse, after the laughter has faded into shadows, he finally sees, not the crowd, not the ridicule, not the consequences themselves, but himself. Yeah, himself. And for the first time, clarity pierces through the remnants of arrogance like a blade through fog. Nah, there's no cheering, no applause, just the raw, unfiltered recognition of what he truly is and what he has the potential to become. The mistakes, the missteps, the arrogance. They weren't punishments, they were lessons. Oh wow, how cruelly beautiful is that realization. Every humiliation, every moment he laughed at warnings, every sneer at preparation, they've all been gifts in disguise. Pain becomes insight. Insight becomes strength. And strength becomes untouchable. Not because the world bends to him, but because he bends to the truth of himself. He feels it now. The fire that rises quietly in the aftermath of collapse. Yeah, not the chaos of noise, not the adrenaline of defiance, but the calm, calculated certainty that he is learning to see clearly. Every arrogance that failed him becomes a blueprint. Every mockery that struck him becomes a teacher. Nah, he can't undo the past. Oh, but he doesn't need to. The past is no longer a cage, it is a forge. And oh, the transformation isn't easy. Each lesson is heavy. Each insight demands vigilance. Each reflection forces him to confront what he avoided before: weakness. But here's the truth that only those who endure understand. The fiercest power grows from the soil of humility and the waters of discipline. The more he absorbs, the more he sheds of his old self, the more untouchable he becomes. Oh, and the irony. Those who once laughed, those who whispered and judged, they cannot see it, they cannot touch it. The awakening is silent, invisible. A force that grows in patience, in understanding, in relentless self-mastery. Yeah, they may still doubt, still mock, still hope for his failure, but they are already irrelevant. Nah, he is no longer their audience. He is no longer their prey. And now, standing at the edge of this new horizon, the question hums beneath the surface, louder than any external noise, more pressing than any fear. Once you see your own power, can anyone ever touch you again? Oh, he stands now, silent, still, unshaken. The echoes of mockery that once clawed at his mind are gone, replaced with a clarity that is both terrifying and beautiful. Yeah, terrifying, because the arrogance that once destroyed him has been dismantled, reshaped into something far stronger. Nah, he is no longer the fool who stumbled blindly through the storm. He is the storm. Every laugh, every whisper, every smirk that once haunted him has become fuel. Oh wow. The irony is delicious. Those who mocked, those who doubted, those who underestimated him, they were training him unknowingly for this moment. And now he moves not with arrogance, but with precision. Not with impulsive pride, but with strategy. Not with noise, but with inevitability. The lessons are etched into his mind like scars, reminders of where weakness once lived. Yeah, weakness that laughed, that sneered, that ignored the weight of consequence. But no longer. Each scar is a map, each misstep a compass, each consequence a guide. And oh, the power he now holds isn't loud, it's silent. It's patient. It waits in shadows, strikes without warning, and leaves an imprint so deep that the world cannot ignore it. He surveys the landscape of those who laughed, and the shift is subtle but absolute. They still think him vulnerable, they still think he will falter. Nah, but the eyes behind the silence know the truth. He has seen the depth of himself. He has walked through collapse and emerged untouchable. The arrogance that once mocked wisdom is now tempered by discipline. The pride that once blinded him is now sharpened into insight. Oh, insight that commands respect, even without demand. And the final realization hits him like a pulse. The most dangerous power isn't the one you show. Oh wow, it's the one you cultivate within, the one forged in the fires of patience, discipline, and relentless self-mastery. Yeah, it doesn't seek recognition. It doesn't beg for fear or admiration. It simply exists. And when the world finally notices, it is too late. Too late to mock. Too late to stop. Too late to recover. Oh, the reckoning isn't for the arrogant. The reckoning is for those who ignore truth, who underestimate consequence, who refuse to learn. But he has survived, evolved, and now commands his path with an untouchable certainty. Nah, he is unstoppable. And as the shadows shift and the world finally recognizes the force he has become, the question remains, louder than any voice, heavier than any doubt. Those who laughed, will they ever rise again against him? Whoa, can you feel that? The arrogance, the chaos, the lesson, it's all right there. Yeah, you saw it unfold. Every laugh, every strike, every awakening. Oh, and don't think it's over yet. Nah, the impact stays with you long after the screen fades. Now listen, you, yes you, made it to the end. You stayed, you focused, you witnessed the truth, and that deserves more than just a click. Drop your comments below. Tell me what shook you the most. Share your fire. Hit that super thanks. Because your energy, your support, fuels these words, makes the madness alive, makes every warning, every insight, every dark truth matter. Oh wow, take a moment. Let it sink in. The arrogant thought they were untouchable. But you now know what happens if arrogance crosses you. Yeah, that's power, that's awareness, that's the edge you just claimed. So stay sharp, stay ruthless in your focus, and remember, the world may laugh at fools, but you, my friend, just learn to rise above, untouchable, unstoppable, unstoppable. Until next time, keep watching, keep learning, keep dominating, and always, never forget, the lessons are everywhere. The fire is inside you, and the world, oh, the world is always watching. No sirens, no flames at first sight, just a tension in the air so thick you could carve your name in it. The clock didn't scream, it whispered, and that was worse. Because silence can be louder than bombs when it's charged with betrayal. You were just breathing, just existing, when somewhere, in a place you couldn't see, someone lit a fuse with your name on it. And now you feel it, don't you? The shift, the collapse, the quiet tremor beneath the skin. This wasn't random. This was orchestrated like a symphony of sabotage. 8 hours, that's all it took to turn your routine into rubble. 8 hours, and now, everything you thought was solid feels like sand slipping through fingers that once felt strong. It wasn't a physical war. No bullets or tanks, it was something colder, cleaner, something forged in jealousy and fear and silent resentment. And you were too focused, too calm, too disciplined to notice the storm gathering behind your back. They thought you wouldn't fight, thought you wouldn't notice, but oh, you noticed. Now, the air tastes different, like static, like tension, like truth. And the faces around you, they flinch when you speak now. They second guess your silence because you've shifted too. They started the war, but they didn't study your history. They didn't know what it takes to break someone who's already been to war with themselves. They didn't know your strength wasn't born from comfort. It was carved out of chaos. They didn't know how many nights you stared into your own demons and said, "Not today." They didn't see you when you had nothing, no support, no noise, no map. Just that fire, that impossible, unkillable fire, burning quietly in your chest while the world doubted your next step. And now they want to test you. Now they want to declare war. Oh, how poetic, how tragic, how perfectly foolish. You don't need to raise your voice. Your presence is the explosion. Your discipline is the artillery. Your focus is the battlefield. You don't blink when it burns, you walk through it. And every step you take now echoes with the ghosts of every failure you turned into fuel. They thought you were weak because you were quiet, because you didn't brag, because you didn't show your scars like trophies. But what they forgot, what they never saw, was that quiet people often carry the heaviest armor. The strongest warriors aren't loud. They're still, because they know their power doesn't need permission. And when the battle comes, when it really comes, they don't panic. They perform. They sharpen. They strike, not for revenge, but to restore order. You didn't ask for this war, but you're built for it. Every sleepless night prepared you. Every insult you swallowed hardened your bones. Every time you were left out, looked over, laughed at, you grew sharper, colder, more precise. And now the fuse is gone. The fire started, and there's no turning back. You're not here to explain yourself. You're here to execute, calmly, methodically, relentlessly. Let them watch you now. Let them choke on the silence they once mistook for fear. You are not the victim. You are the variable, the one they didn't see coming, the one they'll regret underestimating. Your back is against the wall. Good. That means there's only one direction left: forward. And you're not walking. You're charging, slow, steady, surgical, and nothing, not lies, not noise, not fear, will stop you now, because the war didn't start when they turned on you. The war started when you decided not to be broken by it. The war started when you woke up with fire in your blood and said, if this is it, then let's finish it right. The next 8 hours. Yours. The next 8 years. Written in stone by your hands, not theirs. They don't know it yet, but they just unlocked something they can't handle. The version of you that doesn't wait, doesn't beg, doesn't bleed for approval. The version of you that only rises when the air gets colder and the light starts to die. The version that doesn't just survive, rebuilds harder, faster, alone, if necessary, and stronger than ever before. And that clock didn't just tick, it fractured. Like glass under pressure, like a scream behind locked lips. Time didn't pass, it collapsed. 1 minute you were steady, focused, loyal to the plan. The next, you were dragged into a battlefield you didn't create. No warning, no mercy. Just betrayal baked into every second you thought was safe. But that's how it always starts, doesn't it? The shift comes quietly, like a cough before the storm. A glance that lingers too long. A message that suddenly never comes. And then, boom, the mask falls and now you see it. All of it. Who smiled while digging pits behind you, who clapped while hoping you'd choke on the very breath you fought to keep. And now here you stand, hands trembling not from fear but control, because you see it all now. The war isn't chaos, it's clarity. And once your vision clears, there's no going back, no pretending, no comforting lies to wrap around your old self. Because everything soft in you just burned off in those 8 hours. And what remains? Something colder than steel, something sharper than instinct, something no one's ready for. They didn't declare war on the person they thought you were, they declared war on the force you've become. And forces don't flinch. They move. They unmake anything that tries to contain them. And now every breath you take is a warning shot. Every glance is a challenge. Every silence is a countdown. And they don't even know what's coming. Because this isn't about revenge. This is about awakening. And you just woke up in a world where comfort got deleted, where safety got stripped, where illusions got shattered in real time. And instead of breaking down, you straightened your spine, clenched your jaw, and said, all right, let's see what's left. And what was left? Strength. That's it. No distractions, no fake support, just raw, unfiltered resilience. The kind you can't teach, the kind you earn by enduring what should have destroyed you. And that's why you're dangerous now, because you're not trying to prove anything. You're just moving through this fire like it's fuel. You're not powered by anger. You're powered by absence. The absence of trust. The absence of help. The absence of the soft world you thought would hold you up. And now your hands don't shake. They build it. Your eyes don't wander. Your soul doesn't scream. It listens, and it hears everything. The fake laughter, the carefully timed silence, the low-key sabotage. And it says, good, I see you now, fully. These people thought 8 hours could ruin you. They didn't realize those same 8 hours became the blueprint to reconstruct you. More focused, more ruthless, more aware. And now your steps are quiet but calculated. Your words are few but final. Your energy is unshakable. Because you've learned something most never will. That you don't need peace to perform. You don't need support to rise. You don't need a crowd to walk into fire and win. Because you've lived through worse, much worse. And you did it silently. And now that silence, it's your superpower. Because it makes them wonder, makes them fear the next move you haven't spoken yet. And they should. Because the war they started wasn't the real mistake. The real mistake was thinking you wouldn't finish it. And not with chaos, but with calculated intensity, with discipline with purpose that doesn't wait for applause. You're not reacting. You're responding, like a storm with a mind, like a winter with no end. And every time they try to read you, they'll find frost instead of fire, steel instead of softness, because that old version of you, the one they declared war on, doesn't exist anymore. It died in those 8 hours. And in its place, a survivor, a strategist, a silent storm rising without warning. And the next time they try to underestimate you, there won't be a next time. Because this time they'll see the shadow before the sound, the pressure before the move. And by then, it's already too late. It was inside. The war began in your own chest. When breath turned into fire. When stillness felt like pressure. When every heartbeat thudded like warning drums in the dark. And you knew something had shifted. Something irreversible. No sirens, no cries, no crowds, just a silent explosion inside you that said, enough. And from that moment, you were no longer who you were the day before. The mask cracked, the illusion peeled back, and you became what they were afraid of. Not chaos, not rage, but a focused, patient, unshakable force. And the irony? They thought they were cornering you. But all they did was wake you up. And waking up someone like you. That's not a threat, that's a catastrophe for them, because you've been walking through storms your whole life. But this one made you feel it again. The hunger, the grit, the raw reminder that you don't need validation to rise. You just need a reason, and they just gave it to you. Wrapped in silence, laced in subtle sabotage, disguised as coincidence. But you saw it, you felt it, and you didn't flinch, didn't fold, didn't cry out for help. You absorbed it and transformed it into clarity, into strategy, into fuel. And your pace is slower, but only because you're precise. Your voice is quieter, but only because you're deadly. Your focus is cold, not empty, but unforgiving. Because now you know who you are when the masks fall. Now you know what you carry when the ground disappears. Now you knew that survival wasn't your goal. Domination was not over people, but over the part of yourself that once needed approval to feel powerful. That part of you is gone now, burned to ash in those 8 hours. And all that remains is a version of you that doesn't hope, it acts. A version that doesn't react, it executes. A version that doesn't ask, why me, but says, try me. You've learned that when war knocks, you don't wait. You open the door without emotion, without hesitation. And you meet it with hands that no longer shake, eyes that no longer doubt, and a soul that doesn't need reassurance to know its own power. Because pain didn't break you, it broke the shell around you. And inside that shell, there was something lethal growing all along. Patience that can slice, endurance that can crush, discipline that doesn't scream but demands results. And now you move like a ghost through the battlefield, not because you're hiding, but because you've become untraceable. They don't see you coming, and that's the point. You don't need grand entrances. You are the impact, and when you arrive, the war ends, not with a bang, but with complete silence. Because there's no need to shout when your presence speaks. And now, that presence commands every room, every space, every obstacle, because you've tasted the betrayal that forges kings and queens in isolation. You've endured the rejection that creates masters of their own fate. And you've walked alone so long, even your shadow learned to follow you. And now you don't care who sees it. Because you don't need witnesses. You're not chasing claps. You're building legacies. Brick by bloody brick. Hour by stolen hour. And they don't get it. They think war is a burst of chaos. But for you, it's a calm decision. It's a slow burning fuse that leads to a moment they can't undo. They thought they broke you. In those 8 hours. No. They freed you. They peeled off the comfort, exposed the core, revealed the weapon, buried beneath the smiles and silence. And now you carry that weapon inside every word you speak, every move you make, every breath you take. without asking permission. Because once war is declared, your time of pretending is over. The world sees who you are now. Unfiltered, unchained, unstoppable. It's gone, replaced with the hum of tension, like something's always watching, like everything is laced with hidden messages. Betrayal doesn't shout, it whispers behind doors you thought were locked. And now, you've locked yourself in with your own shadows and said, let's finish this. No more pretending, no more waiting, no more smiling at faces that don't see you. This war wasn't started to destroy you, it was started to reveal you. And what it revealed, a survivor, forged in friction, hardened by time, baptized in silence and sharpened by every person who turned away when you needed them most. 8 hours was all it took to strip away the mask, the comfort, the illusion that anyone else was coming to save you. No cavalry, no rescue, just you raw, cornered, eyes open, hands steady. And that's the twist. Because some people collapse under pressure, but you crystallized, turned pain into blueprints, rejection into power, silence into strategy. And now you move different. Now you see different. Now your blood runs colder, but your aim is clearer. No distractions, no diversions. Just a locked-in rhythm like thunder pacing through veins that forgot what fear feels like. This isn't about revenge. It's about clarity. It's about showing up for yourself with no applause, no cheering section, no soft landings. Just a soul ready to grind until peace is earned. And if it never comes, you'll still be standing. Because war taught you how to stand alone. War taught you how to carry your name like a weapon. War taught you that most people won't understand the weight of your silence until it's the last sound they hear before everything shifts again. But you've already shifted, your world's already flipped. You already walked through the fire while everyone watched, waiting for you to scream. But you didn't. You kept moving, slow, steady, scarred, but silent. And in that silence, you rebuilt the part of you that no one could touch. The part of you that doesn't beg to be seen, doesn't cry to be heard, doesn't chase anything but mastery. They thought you were the same, until the look in your eyes changed, until your energy turned from warm to warning, until your presence began to feel like thunder wrapped in stillness. And now, they're confused, nervous, wondering what happened. But nothing happened. You just finally became what they feared you'd be if you ever stopped playing small. You just evolved. And it wasn't pretty, it was painful, messy, loud on the inside, but quiet on the outside. And you sat through all of it, alone, with no guide, no map, just grit and time and truth. And that truth, it cut deep, but it carved discipline into your bones. It built patience where your anger used to live. It built focus where your pain used to scream. And now, you look back and say thank you for the war, because without it, you'd still be soft, still be waiting, still be trusting the wrong voices. But now, you listen differently, you move differently. You don't announce your steps, you arrive. You don't argue, you execute. You don't seek peace. You become the peace, because no one brings chaos to someone who already lives in the eye of their own storm. And you are the storm now. Not loud, not violent, just inevitable. And that's what they'll learn in the next 8 hours, or the next 8 days, or the next 8 years. It doesn't matter, because you're not driven by noise. You're driven by necessity. You don't show up for applause. You show up because you refuse to stay down. You refuse to fold under pressure. You've already mastered, and when they ask how did you survive, you'll say I didn't. I adapted, and they won't get it. They won't understand what it took to walk alone, to be doubted, dismissed, disrespected, and still rise without rage, still grind without credit, still lead without asking for permission. But that's fine. They don't need to understand. They weren't there when it all collapsed. They didn't see the version of you who had to build without blueprints, heal without comfort, win without noise. But you saw it, you lived it, and that's all that matters now. Because this war, this wasn't the end of you, it was the beginning of the real you. And from here forward, there's no going back.